They're not like weed gushers. They're just regular gushers.
No, I also have regular gushers here. I understand
Nice.
the compulsion.
Yeah, I buy the multi-pack that comes with fruit roll-ups and stuff.
Oh, I do miss fruit.
Did they stop selling them? Because I haven't seen them in a bit.
I mean, I'm sure they probably do. I just haven't gotten them in a while.
I'm gonna have to not go through here. I'm gonna have to figure this out.
Did I talk about SnowRunner?
Yeah, I'm trying to squeeze a truck through somewhere that probably
Thing.
this game is like if SnowRunner was like focusing on like hauling stuff, this is focusing on like going out where there's no roads at all and like kind of like rock crawling and stuff. So you're climbing mountains and like
Yeah.
it is not for everyone for sure. It's like if you think the package delivery system in Death Stranding is like the best thing about the game, then you might like this.
Death Stranding's been on my list forever. Like, they really need to get to it eventually, but just too many games. And playing like Everhood 2 just came out. Been playing Pirate
God.
Yakuza.
I feel it. My backlog is miserable.
Oh, yeah. I've kind of just decided, like, I'm just playing it by vibes right now. I have a backlog, but that's really just...
Yeah. It's
I'm not...
For me, yeah, it's mostly just like, this is a list of things that I want to play eventually in no particular order.
Yeah. That's, like, the best way to put it. Because games are ultimately just meant to be, like, fun. Like, I mean, granted, like, if you have, like, a job or, like, that relies on, like, you know, game journalist or whatever, like, I mean, granted, yeah.
It's so hard. Like, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, but it's like, it's so hard to turn your like content brain off whenever you're like trying to delineate between playing a game for work and playing a game for pleasure.
Yeah. Nah, I kind of, I'll talk about this more, but I recently had a major like hit of burnout recently, so I've been struggling with that feeling too.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, that's I'll start in a bit. Cody, you ready?
Yeah, I'm just here. I got a drink already. I don't need a snack. I don't.
I got my snacks. I got my halal Rice Krispie treats and my sun chips next to my gushers.
I kind of already ate all my snacks. Shouldn't need more.
I don't. We need to get groceries very soon because we are just like flat out of shit, and I keep being like, no, I can't keep ordering food. It's too expensive.
It is, yeah. Oh.
I will order groceries a lot.
That's what we're planning to do, because we were thinking of going to the store, but because like it just saves on a little bit of the delivery tax and stuff, but we just haven't been able to get our schedules to align, so it's just like at this point it might just be easier to get
just
them
like
online.
For time convenience, you gotta just because from what I understand, like about delivery, it's basically you're just paying extra for what would be gas.
Essentially, yeah. Like, I mean, there's the driver tip as well, but you know.
All right, I'm gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome to Modular Components. Boingo is not here with us because he is busy beach boying or whatever. I forgot something about the Beach Boys. I'm your temporary main host, Buster. Cody is also here. Hey Cody, say hi. He's snow running.
Hello, I am running some snow and expeditioning some. I forgot what the full title of this game was. Expedition's a mud runner game. There we go.
Yeah, he's doing a mission. Snow runner. Wish him luck. Or it's actually just you'll probably be done with this by the time this podcast. Anyway, we have a returning guest. Say hi, returning guest.
Hi, how's it going? I return several years later.
It happens. Like we like to vary it up. We gotta make sure we don't want to keep put shoving down guest people's throats. Just
right. You never know when to expect me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, lots happened. I kind of just I kind of just wanted to like just get you back because it's like we haven't really talked like in a bit, and there's also just like a lot's happened both here and on your end that I just feel like hey let's catch up. Let's
shoot the breeze.
Yeah, I guess first off, you kind of like I think we last interviewed you during the Danganronpa 2, like in the middle of the production of that video. I think.
Yes, because I checked the date again, and I think it was like it was sometime right after I had made the first Danganronpa video that I made, and before I published the second one.
And to say those videos blow up would be kind of an understatement.
Yeah, I didn't quite expect it, to be honest, but here we are.
Yeah, nobody expects the Danganronpa fans until they're at their door.
Yeah, and sometimes I wish they weren't.
Uh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's Danganronpa.
Yeah. I will say I think like since I did play the first game and like basically caught up on the stories of the other games because of your retrospectives.
Mhm.
Boy, those are interesting stories.
Yeah, that's it's a
I don't want to
series that I
dwell
hold a
too
lot
much.
of.
I don't
Yeah,
want to dwell on it too much, but like
it's a series that I hold a lot of like residual fondness and nostalgia for, but it's also just like many things, it is very flawed. But
yeah, I mean like
you know,
flaws are like one thing. It just like I feel like I don't know the flaws of Danganronpa just kind of feel like a bit more. And I maybe I don't know. I don't know how to properly articulate it right now. It
mhm.
just sometimes it just feels like like you just don't even want to touch it to begin with. But then again, I
Yeah,
know a lot of
yeah.
visual novels are like that sometimes.
Oh, for
Sometimes for
sure.
yeah, I because my friend keeps telling me because I watched a couple Generabuchi things to read Song of Saya, and I'm like I know what
Uh-huh.
that is about. I am a bit
Yeah.
scared. Like even though it's one of
Yeah.
the shorter visual novels out there, like ooh, ugh.
It's it's interesting because it's one of my favorite mediums of storytelling. I love visual novels to death, but yeah, there's many popular ones that have quite a bit of interesting content to them. And at a certain point you either sort of decide that it's okay, I can't do this, or you're just accept that this is sort of
Yeah.
part of the game and try to
Like
get what you can that's interesting out of the experience.
yeah,
And I
and I'm
think
kind of
mm,
halfway there in the acceptance phase. It's just like I just need to lock in to just I don't know,
mhm.
read
Well,
more of
because
them. Because
that's the thing that's that I find really interesting about stuff like that too. Is just I don't know. I feel like stuff that is wild and crazy and has a lot of problems is still infinitely more interesting to me a lot of the time than stuff
oh,
that tries to
100%.
play it extremely safe and it's just I am falling asleep at my keyboard. Please stimulate me, even if you have to make me look at my screen and say, "What the fuck are you talking about?" you know?
Yeah, I think I'm always there that I want a piece of media to invoke an emotion within me,
Hmm.
even if that emotion is trash.
Anger. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's part of the appeal of bad movie nights sometimes, where it's especially
Hmm.
just movies that just make you go, "What the hell?" or just that
Me when
invoke
I
that.
watched The Happening
Oh,
recently.
that's a classic. That's a
Yeah.
classic.
I'd
How
never
did you
seen
feel
it
about the hot
before.
dog guy?
Yeah. Oh
He's
my
my
god.
the hot dog guy. I don't know why. I think I just because as a kid I was obsessed with hot dogs. So just when I
He's
watched
just like
him,
me.
yeah. So when I heard about that movie, I was like, oh my god, there's a guy obsessed with hot dogs. Man, this is the greatest comedy ever. Oh wait, it's I heard Shyamalan's been on the up and up because the movies
Hmm.
Trap, but you're always gonna have I feel like every director's gonna have their highs and lows. Sometimes their
Oh
lows are just
yeah.
really funny.
No, especially with a director like Shyamalan, who is so just has a very particular way of approaching films, and just doesn't really have any patience for compromising on that thing, which leads to both really great movies and really bad movies and no in between.
Yeah. Yeah, actually that's another thing. You've been watching a lot more movies recently because I know you mentioned this during
Yes.
your 2024 retrospective and you made a letterbox. Welcome to
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
club. I'm so sorry you have to see all those shitty reviews. Uh
I know.
I swear to God, letterbox users, their minds are so weird.
I
Sometimes they're from another planet.
I started off trying to write serious reviews for everything that I watched, and then it just got to the point where I was I'll say something semi-serious on my media thread, and then just do a meme for my letterbox because
Yeah,
it's
you just
basically about the same.
yeah. Yeah, it's not even just I don't even care about because I know there's a dumb letterbox discourse about quippy reviews versus in-depth reviews. It's just either or can just really both styles, if done poorly, just annoy me. And unfortunately,
No,
you'll see a lot
exactly.
of poor. Just don't note to self: if you ever want to hurt yourself without actually hurting yourself, read the letterbox reviews for your favorite movie.
I have made
Don't
that
do
mistake
that.
before.
Don't do that. Yeah, but yeah, I know you mentioned you've been watching so bad it's good movies, or quote unquote so
Mm-hmm.
bad it's good movie. I say that when the movie that popped to mind is like Paul Blart. That's like that.
Oh no.
Is it? Is it
Yeah, yeah,
though?
exactly. And I'm like, that's a poor example of that.
No,
Um,
I mean, like, it wasn't the worst waste of time that I've ever gone through in my life, but
it was a bonding experience with your roommates, I assume.
right, yeah, at least there was that element.
Yeah, actually, so yeah, you've been watching like more movies because of your roommates, and I guess that's another thing. You have roommates now.
I do. I live with Mr. Austin Otto of Vast Error fame, and Tyson, who is one of the artists on Vast Error as well.
Nice. Yeah.
Fun
Actually, I have
guys.
to explain what Vast Error is to Cody. Okay,
Ah,
Cody, you
right.
know
Oh
Homestuck?
yeah.
It's a fan comic of Homestuck, but kind of not quite.
It
It's an interesting story.
it liberally borrows a lot of concepts from Homestuck, but does its own thing with them. Also, it is officially licensed now.
Oh, but I don't think I heard about that because it's been a while since I caught up with it. Oh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It
did like
is.
Viz come in? Something?
No. Viz has since left the picture now.
Oh, thank
Thankfully,
God. Oh, thank God.
this is basically a thing with the what is called the Homestuck Independent Creators Union. This is basically just managed by Hussey, the creator, who you know goes to notable fan projects that have built up a presence in the community, and basically just like hands out a license and is like, "Hey, do you want to like sell stuff? Sure, you
Yeah.
can go ahead and do that now."
Merchandising.
But basically just like trying to enable smaller creators who have like become prominent in the fandom to get um, financial support for what they're doing and expand their efforts. I think that's pretty cool.
It is really cool. I actually did not hear about this. I guess I just haven't
Mm-hmm.
like I'm pretty behind on my Homestuck goings ons. I'm still the last time I read like the last thing I remember like about Homestuck was that Viz bought it, and then it's like the website broke, and then you had to go buy not buy but like download an unofficial collection to read like any of the Hussey's work. I guess that's like still a thing, but like yeah.
No, yeah, like it. It's been a weird roadmap for Homestuck the past few years, going between like the inception of stuff like Homestuck 2, and then sort
Yeah.
of the rebranding with Beyond Canon and all that. It's interesting.
Yeah, like I need video essays. Please help me. Please break it down for me. Please in simpler
Well,
terms.
yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I feel like honestly, a lot of people engaged with Homestuck 2 when it was initially like sort of big and like came out because there was a lot of potential for drama mining around it, and then
Ah,
uh, after the sort of like the pause and the rebrand, a lot of the sort of like video essayist types just didn't drift back toward it for whatever reason, which I think is kind of a shame because I think a lot of the stuff going on in the current comic are actually quite interesting and worth talking about.
yeah, yeah. That kind of does bring up like a point where it's just like the drama mining or whatever. It's like people
Hmm.
like to
Hmm.
they always got to get the negative clicks, which is like
Yeah,
look.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. It's not that I think like Homestuck, especially not Homestuck, is a property beyond criticism or anything like that. It's just there are more things to talk about than just
Yeah, like
like
the
corporate
criticism wasn't
politics.
like as constructive as like you would hope like a critic like I mean I don't know. I guess that's
Hmm.
what.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's like that there's still worthwhile discussion to be had about the material itself, and it just kind of seems like a lot of it is boiled down to currently like people just being like, "Hey, did you hear about what happened with the Hive Swap Kickstarter? That's crazy, bro." And it's like, yeah,
That's been a
it's
thing
been
for
a
years.
yeah for a very long time. We need to move on.
Yeah. I think the last time we brought up Homestuck on the show was like I was like I thought okay, so Cody sent me an image of Patrick doing the Gynax pose or like crossing his arms, and I thought, oh, that looks like the Gynax pose. Let me put the Gurren Lagann glasses on it, and I accidentally found an image of the Homestuck glasses instead.
Yeah.
That's literally the last time we
Yeah.
brought it up on the show. And that was a funny thing. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Cody.
Mr. Strider.
No, it's all right. I don't know why you're
Yeah.
apologizing.
No, I know.
I
It's a
I
joke
had like
apology.
I
I
don't
had
mean it.
general understanding of like Homestuck when I was younger, because I dated somebody who was very interested or very
Many
into
such
Oh.
it.
cases.
So I was like passively informed,
Hmm.
almost to the same degree of like how I've learned about Common Rider and Boingo.
Yeah. Uh, um, yeah, I guess, like, speaking of Homestuck, you did, like, you haven't really continued this live, but you've been, like, not just doing the video essays on, like, retrospectives, but you've been live streaming now.
Yes. Actually, it's funny that you bring up the Homestuck thing because might be doing that again sometime soon-ish.
Ooh,
Um,
coincidence.
but yeah, I have gotten pretty deep in the streaming hole at this point. It's kind of become a secret second side of the channel at this point, I guess.
Yeah.
Where it's not as big of one, but I still really enjoy doing it, especially because it's just, I don't know, there's something way more relaxing about, like, doing something live and sort of getting my casual thoughts on something out there, as opposed to sitting down and scripting a several hour long piece.
Yeah. And like I am planning to like use those like VODs to like go through main echo. I've been
Hmm.
so because I don't know, I just think that's a really cool way to go through the visual
Hmm.
novel. And I really want to do that. It just I have like those are like hour-long VODs. Like I need to like
Yeah, yeah,
set
yeah.
aside some time or like find a way to like listen in. Um
It's very like I kind of stumbled into the idea because at first I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna like stream the first episode as like sort of um a sort of like teaser of the series content to sort of like get people to understand what I mean when I shill it all the time. But then people liked it so much that I was like, okay, I mean, I guess I'll continue with, and it ended up being very convenient because there are a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm really interested in this visual novel, but I either like I have trouble reading long text, or like I may have like visual disabilities that make reading something like that difficult, or stuff like that. And there are a lot of other playthroughs of Umineko out there, but because it does have like full Japanese voice acting, you have a lot of people who, understandably, but the voice acting's really good, they want to leave it on. So they'll read the narration in English and then they'll just leave the Japanese voices on. But if you're, say like listening to a stream on your phone, it kind of makes it difficult if you don't understand the language. So
yeah.
I guess I just ended up accidentally filling a niche where I was like, oh, since it has full voice acting and there are multiple streams of that out there that people can watch, why don't I just, for fun, do the voices on my own? And then that just
And
ended
like
up
you're a
being
good
really
VA, so it's
convenient for
like yeah.
people.
Like sorry the ego stroke, but you're a really good VA, so it's like it was
Oh, thank
really
you.
like cool to like see you like, especially because I feel like a thing you'd really do like you're really good at capturing tone, like variety of tones within different
Mm.
characters. Because I remember like I was like this was back when Twitter was around, and you were asking like people like, hey, voice the Danganronpa, I'll do voices for Danganronpa characters, and like
Oh,
even
yeah,
you
yeah,
put that in your
yeah.
own retrospectives, and it's like I was really impressed by like the tone, the variety of tones, like how you like you didn't necessarily change your voice, but you captured the tone of the character so well.
Hmm.
Um,
I think
because like
that's honestly one of the most important ways that you can do voice act, because
true,
like,
yeah, I feel like
because
a
a
lot of
lot of
people like
people, yeah, they chalk it up to like, oh, you have to have a really wide range and be able to do a bunch of kooky voices, and like, not that that's a bad thing to do. Like, I agree, like having a good range is useful, but it's more so what you are able to do with that range and how you're able to adjust it based on direction. I think that
mm-hmm,
like helps distinguish voices. You can have very similar sounding voices, but depending on how you deliver it, it can be, you know,
yeah.
day and night different.
Yeah, and that's kind of like I know like a lot of people praise other voice actors like Johnny Young Bosch or Yuri Lowenthal for that, where it's like
Hmm.
you can tell it's their voice, but depending on the role, they'll just different deliver it in a very different way,
Hmm. Hmm.
depending on the character and stuff. Like yeah,
I love Mr. Young Bosch. Very
I had
yeah.
a
talented guy.
tiny foray into voice acting,
Oh yeah, I
but I was
remember you were
kind of
part of that like
typecast.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like typecasted, and it was fine. I very much enjoyed doing it. I played a character for like a audio drama that was like cryptid based
Mm.
for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I did it for 2 years. I died in it, so
Well, there's
spoilers.
that.
Like it was great. They finished it on the third season. I died at the second.
That's pretty lasted pretty long then, at least.
Yeah, it became really successful. I just like I enjoyed doing that, but I didn't. I wasn't that kind of like I wasn't that kind of artist when I started it, and I didn't.
Hmm.
Although I did enjoy doing it, um, I just didn't really ever try to do it again afterwards. I might sometimes.
That's fair
but
enough.
I definitely enjoyed it. But I felt like I didn't feel like I was correctly there in a way, because like there'd be times where like I knew I wasn't delivering the same exact voice, and I'm like, well, I don't think it's right. And the person who would cast me was like, actually, I like it. And I'm like, "Yeah, I get it's okay to like it, but if I'm supposed to sound this certain way with this kind of thing, then maybe not. I don't know. I definitely did enjoy it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, it was the only relevant thing I had to add.
No. Actually, I was wondering what happened, because I know you brought that up like a couple like years ago, and I was like, whatever happened to Cody in that audio drama?
Oh yeah, we just finished. I recorded like, because I was kind of like the dad character in that, and so after I had passed, I got brought back to like do a little like audio, or not like a little audio
Flashback?
log type deal, not like flashback, but like little like one-off type side dealing. And so that was neat. That was cool. A little while. We went to a convention.
Oh,
We got to host a panel at a convention and talk about it and stuff like that.
that's still on my bucket list of things that I want to do in the future. I would love to be able to do a convention panel. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, man, I have like I just like I've been there's a podcast I listen to, Versus Wolves. It's Eye Patch
I
Wolf
love
and Wooly.
Versus Wolves.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yes.
And just the way just the way they did panels, like I remember like I'm in that Patreon Discord they have, and I was like I remember I was like I had to like go out and find the Twitch stream, because I was not at MomoCon or whatever. Not MomoCon. It was forgot MagFest.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought MomoCon. Anyway, yeah, they did those two Bagfest panels. I remember like catching the Twitch streams, and I was just like, just the presentation, and like I've always loved like watching not con videos, like con panels specifically, like just where it's like people just, and not the Q&A parts can be hit and miss, but like we're talking about like the actual like presentation part. Like I
Right.
remember like, and those really reminded me, man, I love that kind of stuff, especially like there's another thing. This was like a couple years back, but like when Unraveled on Polygon was going, they did like a live episode on the Poke Rap, and that like Brian David Gilbert, the way he presented that was like, man, like I wish I had the skills to not to just be just embody a character on stage like that. That's always super impressive to me. Like
there's honestly like there's just such a fun energy about like preparing a presentation live.
Yeah.
It can
And
be
I was a
very
big Google Slides
nerve-wracking,
kid. I was a big Google
but
Slides kid, so it's like, yeah, like like it is. I do kind of feel like it is very rewarding to do it, but like, yeah, it is nerve wracking prepping it. But like,
it's
yeah,
actually kind of funny now that I think about that. And it's probably the precursor to me doing videos the way that I do, honestly, because when I was in school, I used to do videos for all of my projects because it's just like, I was already developing that skill set at that point, like editing wise and stuff. And most of everybody in my class was doing PowerPoints, but I would ask my teachers, like, I can do video editing and stuff. Do you mind if I just make a video for my project? And most of the time they didn't really care. So, it ended up being sort of the prototype to what I do now, where it's like I would do my project information, but I would also throw some little jokes in there and stuff. And that ended up getting like decent reception during my classes. So I'm like, made 10 of my peers laugh today. I'm on top of the world.
hell yeah.
I've been chasing that high ever since.
It happens. Yeah, like actually, I remember like once I did like speaking of like I don't know, just because we're talking about school presentations. Once I was like I had to do a Jim Henson presentation for a class, and I decided to like video edit it. I forgot why. I think I think the teacher just, I don't know. I think I was just really into video editing at the time. I still am, but just like I was just like, I guess I was like really starting the YouTube stuff. So I was like, hey, let me lock in when like practice this with this Jim Henson project. And remember, I went first because I'm one of those assholes who always likes to go first because I just want to get it over with. And I remember these words still perpetuate in my mind whenever I think about this presentation. Well, like after I finished it, I showed the video, and it's kind of like a badly. I kind of cringe at it now, but like you cringe at all your school stuff now. But I remember the teacher said something along the lines of, "Well, we started strong." And that was the biggest ego boost I've ever gotten. Like where it's like, well, who wants to follow that up? Like I remember he said that something along those lines, and I was just like, oh, what did I raise the ceiling? What?
Oh
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I
It's always the
seem to have
school to give you the ego boost.
seem to have made the the presentations harder for the rest of you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, speaking of like the arts, actually something like not a lot of people like mention, and I really like seeing on your like social media feed your artwork.
Oh yeah.
Because I like you don't really like do it like I know you did like a comic once, and I read a couple chapters of it. It's really good. I just need to finish it one day. I think
Yeah,
we're
yeah. Something happened with that, actually.
oh
Unfortunately, the site that I hosted it on had like a major upheaval where like they revised how their image hosting like works.
oh
Um,
no
and unfortunately, the image hoster that I used to host all of the images was no longer supported. So I could manually go back in and put every single picture
that's like
back in.
600 pages though.
Yeah,
So
it's a lot. So that's why I haven't done it yet. Especially because the thing is, like, I would have just like chipped away at it if I could do it piecemeal. But unfortunately, too, because of the way that, like, I don't know, it's something to do with the site's code or something. But basically, like, because they don't support that image hosting site anymore, if I try to go in to like edit the pages and save it with one of those links still in there, it'll be like, oh, we don't support this site. Please get rid of that link.
oh
So I either have to do it all at once or not at all.
yeah, and I like yeah, I know that was a more niche project compared to like everything else you
Mhm.
did, so it's like you're not even sure if it will be worth it in the end.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
like, don't get me wrong, I still have some fondness for it, but like, there's also just the fact that I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I could do a better job if I were to like redo it at some point. I don't know.
that's like all art. That's like all arts. Like,
Yeah, true.
so it's like at that point, just at least that version of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, the thing I wanted to get is just I really do appreciate like your I know something about your artwork just really appeals to me because of course it's not the most polished thing out there, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
the style is just
Oh, thank
it's
you.
really it's I don't know how to put it. It's like 2000s edgy Newgrounds, which I guess fits your
Yeah.
aesthetic well. But it just yeah, I just really do appreciate, especially when you've been doing a bit more self indulgent art, and it just
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
always makes me smile. Just like seeing just artists just go, you know what? I no restrictions,
No
like I
cringe.
no cringe allowed. Just do what you do. I especially love the Yamato piece you did. Yamato from One
Yes.
Piece. That was really cute. Uh,
I I think like for me like art has always cuz when I was younger I thought that like that was going to be what I did, right? I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, I'm going to be an artist." And then well, as time went on I was like, "No, never mind." But I still do enjoy like doing it as a hobby.
Yeah, and
I
some things just
definitely
can't
have
stay
a
as a
lot of
hobby.
I have a lot of room to like improve, but it's like on one hand I don't really have like a ton of time to dedicate to it, but at the same time I'm like I feel like I'm at least decent enough that it's like, I can still draw things every now and then and be like, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, like like I think like I've kind of like a similar boat where just I mainly use it as a de-stressor if I
Mhm.
have like an idea, like um to just or if I have like a pose I want to like convey to like an art to
Mhm.
another artist or character design because I usually when I've been working on a thing like the I've
Mhm.
been mentioning this every
Mhm.
now and again where it's like the Victory Buster project where it's and sometimes a lot of the ways character designs would do I do it is basically like I sketch out like an MS Paint ass version and then I send it to my artist
Mhm.
pal Ashley. Hi Ashley. I don't think she listens to this, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. Uh, but yeah, and I send it to my artist pal, and then like or like I even did this for commissions, just like whenever like people I commissioned people, or just here's a rough sketch of what I want, or like here's a pose. Which like honestly, like
Mhm.
I feel like I'm surprised when people are like, oh, nobody sends me poses. Like, how else are you supposed to like convey
Yeah.
anything?
That's
Because it's like
crazy. That's what
Like
I do
even
all the
just a
time.
pre-existing image, like even like a even a pre-existing image like helps a lot with artists. I don't know.
Like most of the time, whenever I've gotten like thumbnail art commissions or whatever, I usually always like go in on like Photoshop and draw like a shitty sort of like pencil paint version of the sort of thing that I'm looking for, and be like, can you do this but good?
Yeah, nah, yeah, that's honestly like, yeah, that more people should be doing that. It sucks that like I hear horror stories of like I didn't get anything, uh, like I didn't get any reference. Like even just again pre-existing images of just do this or just do the have this character do this pose, or just like that helps a lot from what I understand.
No, yeah, like I literally will just like photo mash things together of like, this sort of like general kind of looking outfit, this sort of pose. They don't even have to be like from the same things at all. Just like
Yeah,
just make it easier to envision.
yeah. I guess speaking of envision, I keep saying speaking of a lot.
It's a good transition.
It's but I'm overusing it. Like I gotta like think of new
I got
transition
to spice it up.
opportunities. Yeah. The point I
Squeaking
guess
of Envision.
squeak. I don't know why that made me laugh.
Me when I'm a mouse and I'm transitioning.
Yeah, mouse.
Well, okay, well,
Yeah.
not. Let me rephrase that. Transitioning the subject.
Yeah. God, either or works.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to ask you because I know you've been saying you have some upcoming videos planned. I know you like. I don't want to
Mhm,
like stress you out because I know like things come and go and it's like it's
mhm.
various stages of production. But I know you're working on like a Perfect Blue video,
Yes.
which like I've been really interested. I watched that movie like last year for the first time and it was like, oh that yeah, I
Me too.
really oh oh
Yeah.
I
I
thought that was a rewatch. I don't know
No, no,
why.
no. Um no, I'd been meaning to watch it for a long time and I like knew things about it, but it was just like I don't know. It was just like one of those spur of the moments like, yeah, okay, maybe I'll do this right. Turns out it was like kind of a maybe a bad time to do that, but but it certainly
Yeah.
left an impression.
Yeah, I know you've been like that. That script's been like a big mental tax, but like so, like whenever you're ready, like
Mhm.
I'm very excited to see it. But like again, just to take your time. Like I don't want to.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'm about to sort of like go back into it in earnest soon. It's just that like, I was taking a break from it for a while and then I did the most recent video that I did and now that I've like kind
yeah,
of
the Danganronpa
taken
tier
some
list,
time.
right?
Mhm. So now that I've taken some time after doing that, like I've taken a couple weeks to sort of just, you know, relax and not really worry about doing any video work. But now that I've done that, I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready to get back to writing for the Perfect Blue.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, the Danganronpa tier list. Like, I sorry to talk about Danganronpa again, but that was like it was really interesting to see you go like a bit more off cuff. I guess like that's just your live
Mm-hmm.
stream like setup, but it's like still it's like it's still really cool to like just like you're still like well spoken in that like
Mm.
off like more off the cuff like even like seemingly less scripted
Oh,
than
don't
your
worry, there
usual.
was like 2 hours worth of ums cut out of it. So
No, that's understandable, but like podcast, we don't cut out ums in this podcast. I'm sorry,
nope,
but
it's
like,
uh, it's
there's,
pure, raw, unfiltered
yeah,
We
but
umming and
like,
actually
ahhing.
we pay someone to add extra ums in.
Right, right,
yeah,
right.
yeah, boy, go added extra ums. Probably won't listen that far.
If you subscribe to the Patreon, you get the free cut. That's a
Yeah,
joke.
yeah, we don't even have a Patreon here. Actually, you should subscribe to
Well,
Nezumi's Patreon or YouTube membership.
true.
Yeah, they're really cool. You get nice little bonuses, and you support her rent.
Yeah, which is always a worthwhile task.
Yeah.
And taxes. Oh God, taxes.
Oh yeah, tax season. I forgot.
Yep. It's gonna
Yeah,
hurt.
I did get I had to like I've been working with because I live with my parents still. I've been working with my dad on the taxes. Oh boy. Oh
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And actually
I
like
still
for
actually
like
have
the
to do
first
mine.
oh good luck, Cody.
I know I'm running out of time. I've just been putting it off because I have 3 W-2s this time.
Ugh.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice.
I have to submit one for YouTube and for Patreon, so that's fun.
Yeah, I really only have to like I mainly got one I have to do for like because uh Nesby I've been talking about this like here and there on Blue Sky, but I got an editing job Like I think I've talked about this before. Like I've talked about it on podcasts. What?
Buster, so to interject about that editing job, me and Maddie were watching a video, and I was like, we were watching the YouTuber. I don't want to spoil it because you're about to say it in a second. But I got to do the like Leonardo thing, and I was like, oh look, credit,
It's
Buster,
my friend.
wow.
Yeah, Shay Frillis. Yeah, because
Oh, okay, cool.
yeah, because this is a weird story because I don't think I've ever told this story on podcast before, but I'm just gonna use this opportunity to tell it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, around early 2023, some shit happened. I'm not gonna go into what shit happened. Basically, William of Space Tree Studios reached out to me and just be like, "Hey, do you want to join our movie nights?" And that's what I usually do before this podcast, the movie nights or the wheel nights. And James was there as like one of the people who joined the movie nights here and there. I actually did not join the movie night tonight because again Ramadan. It's Ramadan. Did I mention it's Ramadan? Who cares? But like I care. But like
We care.
point is like I basically got to talk to him, and like around late 2023, I think he was working on two big videos, the Spielberg ranking and the Mario Kart ranking, and he basically brought in 3 people, including me, to help edit those, and I've been like helping edit projects here and there. For him, like the most recent one I did was the Nezha 2 video because that I used a lot of.
We watched.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, because Nezha is really good. Both movies. It's basically China's attempt at a shonen, which is really cool. The second one especially, like in places. Officer's RAF footage to so yeah, people were able.
Oh goodness, I think I may be cutting out really badly.
Some people were able to
I'm also
point out,
the issue.
Edited this because I never shut up Buster's RAF to some people. Oh wait.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess you were hearing that too. Yeah.
Oh god, my internet's being weird. You guys fine. It's just my internet's being weird on like the voice connection. Give me a second.
Yeah, you were being robot-y for a minute there.
This hasn't happened in a while. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, cool.
Okay, sorry about that. Where was I?
Yeah, you were talking about Ashura's Wrath.
Yeah, because I never shut up about that game, and people were able to point out. I was like, because I had to use like gameplay footage to fill in gaps because the movie's not on digital yet because it was like one of those modern film reviews. So, and people were able to notice even before the credit popped up, oh, that's Buster's edit.
Yeah.
Because I never shut up about that game whenever it comes up.
To sneak it in.
Yeah.
I mean, it fits for the story.
Yeah, like the big actiony like elements stuff. And, they're not the same mythology. Yeah, it's not the same mythology, but it's still like a mythologic like adaptation.
Right.
So.
Honestly, it would probably be beneficial for me if I hired some editors at some point. However, I'm just like, number one, it's just like
that's extra money.
Extra money. Also, I'm so picky. I'm so particular about like how I want to edit specific things. So like if I handed it off to someone, I know I could just ask them to do what I want, but I want to do it.
Nah, that's fair. Nah, like
some people want that creative control. Some people don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I still like edit my own videos, like just because of that stuff. Where it's like I occasionally get an editor if I'm busy. Like I'm like okay, like oh, I'm super busy. Hey, let me call up my pal to like, hey, can you edit this? I'll pay you. But like I do it like especially for like since you upload very like once in a blue moon or like every couple months, like instead of like weekly or whatever like me the modular crew do. Like. I understand you want to make sure it's done right, you know, like or done in the way you want it.
Specifications.
Yeah, yeah, and even then, like that there's still like even outside, like I like usually I trust the editor, but like I know other people they'll just be like, okay, I got the footage, let me add my own touches, that's what James does, and I don't blame him for doing that because his touches are really good. And especially because sometimes he has footage or clips that I don't have or I wouldn't know to add. So, yeah, things like I mean, I do enjoy video editing, so it's like nice to have like that for a job, and like now I have to pay taxes for it. I mean, it's not like a full length salary. It's just like, hey, it's just nice to make some money on the side.
Yeah, some good extra income.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess not. I wonder what Boingo will think. That's what this entire podcast is me going internally. What would Boingo think about this conversation?
Well, we can find out later.
He
Yeah,
would say
I'll just
something
bug him
silly and probably make a
off the
noise and
wall.
then be hailed by
Oh yeah, the
mother.
Metal Gear sound.
Boingo,
Yeah,
could you insert a comment here?
yeah.
You don't
Boingo,
actually
can
have to.
you
I'm just
insert a comma in here?
A
yeah.
comma, yeah. Just put a comma on screen.
I'm
Uh,
so sorry if you actually do that.
Also, I forgot to congratulate you on 80K subs. That's
Thank
that's
you.
a lot of people. Like
I
again.
was trying to look and see how much I had when we last were on the show together, but I couldn't find it.
I think it was 20K. I think I remember it was like 20K, 25K. Like, cause it was after the first Danganronpa video.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, that's like more than double the growth. But like,
Yeah.
and I imagine like
My
that's pretty scary stuff because that's a lot of people,
No,
a lot of eyes.
it is because honestly, like I hadn't even really wrapped my head fully around the idea until just recently, but like more and more recently, I've kind of been coming into that mentality, I guess, where it's like it's a little sad. Where I'm like, I used to very actively like engage with like everybody that commented on my stuff, like everybody the watched and had like feedback to give or whatever. I'm getting to that point now where it's like the Markiplier moment where it's like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
god, I just realized that it's literally impossible for me to engage with all of you. And
Uh
it's like, yeah, there's something that's a little bit melancholic about that to me because I'm like, man, like I enjoy the human aspect of doing things like this. That's why I started making videos in the first place, was to like share my thoughts and feelings on things and connect with people that way. Now I just kind of have to like put it out into the ether, and I can't really pay that much attention to it. So it's very different in that way, and I guess it's been a process of trying to sort of
yeah.
reckon with that.
Yeah, and it's like as someone who's like I'm nowhere near as like big as like my peers, but I have like because I associate with some people like James, he's almost 2 million at this point, which I can't even imagine that and
Oh god,
comprehending
yeah.
that. Uh but like I do get like some of his fans come to comment on my stuff and it's like man, that like he has some parasocial like we've talked about this like yeah man, oh, there's a reason r/Shay Frillis became a meme within us for bad reasons. I'll put it that way. I don't want to get too into it, but
Yeah,
like it is, yeah, especially where I mean, like I don't know, like there is like some people who are just chill about it, but like some people get really like you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, and that's
exactly.
really scary.
And it's difficult the more you have coming in to find, like, to determine at a glance who is going to be normal about it and who is going to try to cross that line.
Yeah,
And so it just encourages you even more as a creator to just kind of like recede back and be like, okay, I guess I won't be interacting as much anymore, which it sucks, but kind of the nature of the beast, I guess. That's not to spoil anything that I have to say, obviously, but it's partially some of the stuff that I'm gonna get into when I do make that Perfect Blue video, actually.
yeah, no, I can imagine. I can imagine like those two topics have a lot of overlap. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so you need to watch more Satoshi Kon films. Like I watched
I do too.
yeah, I love Tokyo Godfathers. That's like actually like one of
Oh
my
yeah.
favorite movies of all time.
Tokyo Godfathers is it's so comfy to me. It's a cozy movie.
Yeah, nah,
Which
it's
is really funny
yeah,
considering
because
the
it's
rest of
pretty
his films
raw.
are
Oh no, because
the
like
rest of
yeah,
his films are not like that at
yeah,
all.
that too. But like, I also there's even like if you like the typical like archetypical comfy film, like Tokyo
Right.
Godfathers is like kind of more out there compared to that.
Oh, definitely. Like it definitely has its edges, but like
Yeah,
it's very like I don't know. There's just something about it that's even despite that vibe to me,
nah,
it's just
yeah,
like yeah, it's very sweet.
yeah, yeah. Which is honestly like knowing that like oh that's his sweetest movie. Oh, I'm shrimp when I watch the
Right.
rest of the movies.
Me staring fearfully at the copy of Paprika on my shelf.
Yeah. Did he do Millennium Actress or was that a different
Yeah,
person?
he did Millennium Actress.
Okay.
I still need to watch Paranoia Agent too.
Well, yeah, that seems like something you'd watch by now, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I need to get around to from that time. I know I also want to watch this isn't a Cone thing, but it's just like sort of around that same era. I still need to watch Haibane Renmei as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that has some like artist overlap with Lane, I believe.
Oh, yeah. I still need to finish Lane. I watched a couple episodes, and there's this really. This is like a 15-year-old video, but it's like I just recently it came into like my vernacular within the last few months. There's this really funny video called Lane at the Gay Bar. It's just it's the funniest shit to me. I don't know why.
I love Serial Experiments Lane, and like there's so many things about it that I think are like especially prescient now. But it is
100%.
it's so funny to me that I'm like, what is it? It was it the director or the main writer? I can't remember off the top of my head now. But guy just like went completely off the rails.
Oh, I know which guy you're talking about. I mentioned this in my because he also wrote a couple Ultraman stuff. And I go,
and he wrote that
really good.
That
Digimon
Tamers thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Digimon Tamers, but then he wrote the stage play with the with
the cancel culture.
Yeah, the villain called cancel culture.
I'm just making Jiaki Konaka. He is
Konaka. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so bizarre to me. Like when stuff like that happens, I'm like, what happened to you?
Yeah, it just sucks because like he has a great list of work like Hellsing, Big O. Like Big O's a really classic one I've been meaning to get to. Like Lane, it's like just always a shame. Like I mentioned this in my Gaia video I did, but like Ultimate Gaia, but where it's like like I'm going to praise a lot about his work, but I'm praising past him, not current him, if that makes sense. Which kind of feels shitty to do, but like
it's a weird thing, right? Where it's like I've come more into this sort of like line of thinking more as I grow up, but like with a lot of creators, it's kind of difficult to tell a lot of the time. Like even when you think a creator has like good stances on certain things, they can just pull like some total BS like out of
we've
nowhere.
Seen that a lot recently.
And I don't know, like I think and I get why like people have this sort of feeling, but I feel like especially more and more recently there's been this temptation because obviously in the not to get too into it, but in the political moment that we are in right now, it's easy to feel very disempowered and not like you can do a whole lot on an individual basis. So a lot of people have kind of turned to like, well, surely if I consume the right media, then I'm doing activism.
That's...
and it's like it's that temptation, right? It's like to completely curate your experience in such a way that it's like I'm only engaging with the good media made by the good people, and there's really no way to like to reliably do that, because like even a creator that you think has like the best opinions on X, Y, and Z can turn around and say like complete dog shit about A, B, and C. Like, it's you just have to exercise caution and do what you think is right when it comes to like obviously like platforming and financial support and stuff like that. And other than that, it's like I think you as a critical human being with like thoughts and feelings can engage with a piece of work and still be like, yeah, this was made by like I reckon an idiot, but I still like this part.
Yeah, no, that I feel that so many times, like it's about like so much, especially right now where it's like lots of people are showing their asses. Like I'm not gonna say specific examples, but like
right.
I just don't want to bog not Cody. Cody. Yeah.
I'm not gonna get too into it either, but there's a book series that I used to be very interested in as a kid that it's not a particularly popular one, at least not if you don't live in Germany. But I really enjoyed the first installment when I was like in high school, and it was a very like in terms of its themes, it is like a very progressive book. So it was very strange when, the author made a hard alt-right pivot in later years, and it's like, I don't understand. Like, genuinely, I'm confused.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me, like, I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but there was like that recent Spider-Man show. Like,
yes.
It was pretty fine. Like, it's a fine show, but the actor just said, he was just being weird about like, oh, it's not woke or whatever bullshit. And it's like, dude, They swapped multiple characters, and it's focusing on like the inner New York conflict.
Also, is the woke in the room with us right now?
Yeah, exactly. It's like you didn't have to invoke it.
It really, I don't know. People whip themselves up into such a frenzy over shit like that. It's frankly embarrassing. It's like,
and I've mentioned I mentioned this before when we talked about it, but it did also feel like it's part of like young people like watching the wrong that's also another thing where it's like, and it's also just like a thing. I've been thinking about this a lot because my young cousin's been using the phone a lot. Like he's like barely double digits, and that scares me. And I keep telling his parents, "Hey, maybe reduce his electronic time." I don't like because it really scared me when like my other cousin said, "Oh yeah, he's watching I Show Speed," and I'm like, "He's way too young for that. What are we doing here?"
No, genuinely. Before I moved from home, one of my nephews came to me one time, and like little dude's like 4 or 5 at this point, and asks me if I know what Chainsaw Man is. And I'm like, little buddy, you shouldn't know what Chainsaw Man is.
I had a similar moment where it was like someone asked, like another cousin, different cousin, asked me about Terrifier, and I'm like, "Yep, nope, all right, nope."
Speaking of unrelated, do you see that Terrifier's getting NECA figures?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, toys. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. Yeah, man, I did see that. I think I forgot it was a Toy Fair or something, but like that's.
Yes.
I mean, like I normally I'd be down with an Art the Clown figure, but also I'm very scared to own one. So
malicious presence in my home. That's how I feel about the fucking Chucky doll that we have.
Oh yeah.
Every time I turn the corner and see his little
Is
face,
that Austin's?
I'm like, yeah. Well, Austin was the one who wanted to get it. And like, I'm like, every time I turn the corner, I'm just like, okay, if one day he's not there when I turn, I'm fleeing the country.
Yeah, no, respectable.
I have a oversized Grogu like Valentine's Day standee thing. It's like a
That's
stuffed
just
animal.
cute.
No, not this thing. It doesn't quite look like Grogu or Yoda. It's too big. It's taller than like Yoda is in real life.
Yeah, it's my favorite real life character, Yoda.
Yeah. I've met
but I'm
him
saying
at
like
conventions.
the realistic height of Yoda. It is.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And it lives in a closet because we don't know where else to put it, and I keep forgetting it's in there.
Yeah, honestly, respectable.
The jump scare every time you open it.
Yeah, but, I mean, I like, speaking of like I do have like a Kermit like strapped to my gaming chair. I don't even know where I got this gaming chair. It just popped up in my room one day. I was like, oh, I guess I have this now. I don't even think gaming chairs are even comfortable.
With gamers.
I don't even think this gaming chair is like even that comfortable compared to like a regular ass like desk chair. It's like because maybe I need to tweak it, but like there's this weird like padding on it that just doesn't like fit with my back well. I don't know.
I really like my office chair. It's just so loud.
Like a garish?
Yeah, like it's very creaky.
That, yeah. I thought like you loud in terms of like a color.
Oh no. Yeah. You're so loud.
Yeah, like that kind of vibe.
The Ace Attorney anime bloopers, my beloved.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I remember those. Yeah, because remember James was talking about that like a couple months back. Yeah, the Ace Attorney. And actually, I guess I haven't. We mentioned Danganronpa, but we haven't mentioned Ace Attorney, and that's probably because I still need to play those games to watch in order to watch the retrospective. Because I
should. They're
I know
good games.
My friend has literally been begging me to play Ace Attorney, and I'm like, I'm halfway through the first game. I'm like at the Silver Samurai case, and I'm like,
yeah.
This is dragging way too much. So I've only been playing in like 30-minute inner chunks like every month.
Oh no, yeah, like basically, well, until the final case. Well, we'll get to that later. No, generally speaking, like the third case of Ace Attorney 1 is the one that most people agree is the weakest.
It sucks because I like the theming. I like the story it's telling.
No, it's fun. Yeah, it is the pay. Well, especially because this is a problem that sort of persists mainly in the first Ace Attorney that is sort of remedied in later ones. But every case in Ace Attorney 1 has 3 days, like 3 trial days. From the second game onward, they revise it to like in universe, it's still like a case can go up to 3 trial days, but it's never going to last more than 2 in the actual game.
Gotcha.
So it ends up sort of like helping the pacing because the cases themselves still stay like around the same relative length, but you get like more in like those respective sections, so it helps the pace to kind of like still keep feeling more brisk.
Because right now I'm playing 3 games. I think once I finish one of them, I'm gonna like put Ace Attorney in that rotation, like just full on commit to it. Because I've been meaning to get to it, and I know like James is gonna work on some Ace Attorney videos. So at least for the editing job, I gotta like start playing more of them, so I know what's happening.
Once you make it to case 4 of the first game, I think that's when like most people go from like, yeah, I like this decently to like, oh, okay, I'm locked in.
Yeah, oh, okay, that's good to hear. Yeah, but those 3 games I'm playing right now is like Everhood 2. I mentioned this I think earlier. Like that just came out, and I've been having tons of fun with like. Yeah, I'm only an hour in. I know Everhood just hits different for me. Do you know what that game is, or
I'm
do I have to
not
explain?
actually sure
I
that
do
I'm
not.
familiar with it.
Okay, so it started out as an Undertale mod, and the first game
Ah.
literally stars a Geno repaint, like a Geno like but red. And it but like the way it tweaks that kind of like Undertale quirky sense of humor and like it sometimes goes a bit further, or like even with the themes, like the actual themes. It's very interesting and serves as like it's not a replacement, but it's a good companion piece to that kind of
Okay.
like I'd say. And then Everhood 2, I just started playing it. I don't know what it's quite going for yet, but the beginning was very Deltarune. I'll put it that way.
Interesting. I have to look into that because
Yeah.
I also need. Oh God, I still need to play in Stars and Time.
Oh yeah.
So many
That's
things that
another.
I need to
Oh,
play.
I'm so sorry to add more to your backlog.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the first Everhood is it's a rhythm game, so I don't know how like rhythm adjacent you are with like rhythm games, but like
I enjoy rhythm games to some extent. I respect them. I am so bad at them.
no, that's fair. I think you would like the story of Everhood, but like if you like, there is easier options like to like lower the difficulty, so you could like more appreciate the story. But like I think it's because
Actually, I'm sorry.
no, you go.
No, I was just going to say as a sort of like plug of sorts. Speaking of rhythm games and also Undertale-ish games, one of my mutual acquaintances, Ash Taylor, is making a game sort of like that right now
Oh,
that has a demo out. It's called Cordioid.
Cordion. Can you link
Ooh.
that? Because I like to check that out.
Yes, it's pretty
Boingo, can you
cool.
post an entire playthrough in the background at like
Yeah.
3% transparency for the
Hold
entire
on.
podcast?
Let me grab the link real
Yeah.
quick. I'll put it
Uh,
in general here.
yeah.
It's the demo link,
First
but
breath. I don't think Cordioid First Breath. I'll check this. Oh, this came out like a couple months ago. Oh,
mm-hmm.
I like the art here. Ooh, ooh. I will just look at the trailer. Yeah, I'll
Mm-hmm.
definitely be checking this out.
Yeah, it's
Um,
it's a lot of fun.
yeah. Yeah. Thanks for the plug. Like I always like learning about. Yeah, but like I'm not sure. Like I assume it's a demo, so it'll probably be short. But I'll probably have to like
Mm-hmm.
I'll get slotted in when I finish like one of these games I'm playing, because I'm not just playing Everhood 2. I'm playing like the major game I've been playing is Pirate Yakuza, because
Aha.
like yeah, the Majima pirate game. Because here's the thing, I'm very picky when it comes to my Yakuza slash Like a Dragon like games, because
Mm-hmm.
here's like the games are either like peak gaming or bloated messes with weird nationalistic elements.
I see.
So like I don't know, like, because I feel like a lot of people, especially in the West, the conversation doesn't like there's people who mention like the nationalism, but like sometimes, or like the weird
Right.
like way it portrays non-Japanese people. I've really only seen
Mm-hmm.
like a couple people like really dig into those like
Yeah, it
weird,
is. Yeah, it's an interesting thing where it's like I think a lot of Japanese media that has issues like that go like those issues go somewhat undiscussed in like Western fandom,
yeah,
particularly just because it's like those things naturally fly over the heads of a lot of people that don't live in Japan.
yeah,
Um, it's like, it's the same reason why, you have to do like an entire history lesson to get people to understand like why, people are off put by Attack on Titan. It's why, even despite the fact that I agree that it has like a lot of entertaining elements, I'm still like sort of put off by elements of Demon Slayer.
Yeah, nah, I get you. Actually, I haven't heard about the Demon Slayer thing. I need to look at maybe there's a reason I never really fully got into that. Yeah.
The Attack
other
on
than
Titan
that, it's
thing,
just
I feel, because I was a fan of the first two, and then after I found out where the character, like, well, I
yeah,
don't.
I don't like. It's weird. There's a lot going on there. I don't like. Obviously, I think there's more to it than is often discussed, just because it's so layered with particular thing. But like, we could spend hours getting into that.
Yeah, but like I definitely have finished the story of sometimes, so one day I'll look into that. But yeah. So I was playing and so I'm very like picky when it comes to my Yakuza. So like, I have one guy like I specifically like I'm a Yakuza guy for lack of a better word. Where I specifically like, hey, is this game any good? And he'll tell me like, it's fine, or it's like, oh, it's and he really liked the pirate game. And I was like, you know what? I love pirate games or like the aesthetics of piracy. I'll try this out, and I've been having a lot of fun with it.
I also enjoy the aesthetics of piracy.
Yeah,
it opens up my incognito tab.
No, I'm with you there. Yeah, no, like, I mean, hey, most tokusatsu I have to pirate because they don't give us any. Like,
it is
it
morally correct.
Where the hell's the next Kamen Rider Shout Factory? Please, I'm desperate. Last update was like a year ago, and it was a very shitty update too. So I was like,
media preservation.
Toei licensing is bullshit.
Oh well, Toei.
Yeah, Toei. Yep, Toei. And then like the third game I've been playing, I got this on a sale because I got a refund for like a Steam game I just didn't want, but so I got this on a sale. Trails of Through Daybreak, which is like an RPG. Like I don't know, like people are complaining to me like when I said, "Oh yeah, I'm playing Trails Through Daybreak." It's like you're starting on the 4th arc, and I'm like, I know it's a multi-arc game, but my friend told me it's fine. They'll explain the elements, and also, Daybreak has the aesthetics and like themes I'm like looking for more in like an RPG. Like it just,
which is fair.
Yeah, and I'll go back to like I'm planning to check out the remake of the first Trails that they're doing later this year.
Right.
So.
I mean, like, if it's one of those things, too, where it's, like, you can reasonably get in on a ground floor, I don't think there's necessarily a problem with, like, playing something out of order and then being like, oh, I really liked that. I guess I'll go back and play the other ones now.
Yeah, I mean, my first Kingdom Hearts game was Dream Drop Distance, and I'm like, it's still my top
so
3.
Funny.
I know, but that is still like, I still became a huge Kingdom Hearts fan by the end, so it's like...
Yeah, so, I mean, we did its job, I guess.
Yeah. I think I mainly got the game because like Tron was in it. I don't know, like I was in a really big Tron mood at the time, so I was like, oh, did they have Tron? I can play through a Tron level, and I was like, oh my god, yeah. And
I mean, the Tron world is really cool.
Yeah, both in Kingdom Hearts 2 and in Dream Drop. So
I really liked it in 2.
Oh yeah, 2. Yeah, man, did I ever tell? Oh my god, the reason I got a Steam Deck was solely just to play Kingdom Hearts 2 on the go. I'm gonna be real. Like, I've been playing all these games on the Steam Deck that I mentioned, but it's like the main reason I got it is because the Kingdom Hearts games are finally on Steam. Well, time to get a Steam Deck because the Switch never let me play it because of the stupid cloud version.
God, I hate cloud gaming.
It's so bad. I think it was like the last major cloud game they ever did for Switch, which is now thinking about it.
Actually very funny. The one and only time I ever tried cloud gaming was to try to play I think it was on my PS4. I tried to play Sonic Unleashed on cloud gaming.
And now we have a PC port.
That didn't work out so well, but yes, it does have a PC port now.
Yeah. Have you played the PC port yet, or?
I've played a little bit of it, and it runs so beautifully. It's so wonderful.
Nice, yeah. I've never really played like the full Unleashed game. That's like one of my blind spots in Sonic, so I'm very interested to try it out. I kind of like.
I'm enjoying the critical reevaluation it's going through.
Yeah, like a lot of people are like looking at, especially like the modding scene's already going insane. Apparently, some people are adding like a bloody palace, like DMC style, which is like that's really appealing to me. I love those kinds of like raid, like boss rush, or just like beat up a ton of enemies for like 5 hours. I love that kind of stuff. I'm a big Dynasty Warriors. Like whenever like when they announced the Dynasty Warriors roguelike, I was like on it the minute it was on Steam.
No, Sonic modders are crazy.
Yeah, I mean there was already like like literally days after the the PC port came out, it's like there was already like a transfem like, mod,
Yep.
and it was like that was really cute. That was
Yeah,
yeah.
that modder has been around for a while, and also released one for Generations, I believe. I think there was one progress for Forces, but I don't know if it ever actually came out.
I mean, it's forces. So,
I mean, yeah, it's not a high priority.
yeah. Look, I appreciate elements of forces, but as a whole package, no.
No, like really, the best thing that you can do with Forces is mod it.
Yeah, mod it for like I want to try the overclock mod. That like the
I do need to play Overclocked.
yeah. I think that would be a fun stream thing. Like just play over because it's only like it's about the same length as the regular game, so it's like you
Yeah,
can
I
have a
mean, which is
stream.
very short.
Yeah. I think my thing about forces is I don't even mind that short. I just it's just nothing like in terms of
No,
its levels.
it's a nothing burger. It's completely like
In one
like
ear
how
out the
to
other.
yeah, exactly. Like the thing is, it's not even like I wouldn't venture as far as to call Forces like horrible or anything. It's just like very inoffensive,
Yeah, and
but
sometimes
like
that's
in
like
a very boring
worse.
way.
Yeah, sometimes it's worse than like offending you. Like we've
Mm,
mentioned that like earlier in the podcast.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Hold on just a second. I gotta tell these guys to shut up.
Okay.
Ooh, go get him.
I mean, we are going. We did go. Oh, did we go for a long?
I don't know. We've been doing all these missions, and it turns out that
Wait, have you been doing the SnowRunner mission wrong, Cody?
no, but I started another. I was like pinging him in the chat, asking him what mission to start next,
Oh, you
and he
finally
didn't
finished it.
say anything. So I started a mission, and he started doing that in the mission.
Ah,
I completed it, and then he like got all upset about it.
I'm so sorry.
What
It
can you
happens.
do?
Communication.
Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry. I'm back.
Yeah. Wait,
I'm
how
back.
long have we been going for? I forgot. Let me check. We've been going for like an hour. I mean, we could keep going, but like
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind.
yeah. Yeah, I just want to make sure like I'm not like interrupting anybody's time.
Oh no, no.
Yeah. Let me check. Is there any news I need to catch up on? So, oh, wait. Marcy, what's your opinions on Gundam? Because
On
Gundam. I still haven't seen it, by the way.
oh yeah, the new movie, yeah. Because that's I was gonna segue into like asking you about like because I know you like some of Anno's work, so I was like, and he's like involved with the new
Right.
Gundam, so
Yeah, I have not watched G-Quacks. I really like most of my familiarity with Gundam stuff comes from G-Witch.
that's fair. You know, we covered that. We all liked G-Witch, except for one person who's not even here anymore.
I like there since it has ended, like I definitely have like understood some of the criticism that has received, but like generally speaking, I still really enjoyed myself while watching it.
No, yeah. I mean, like, I understand the critiques. It's just like like I do. It's not like the best Gundam, but it's still like an enjoyable Gundam show with like still a lot to like appreciate about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad that it's the first uh gay female protag. That was a big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Also, just like a very good way to get people in like that. It's like just
It's a
like,
good
hey,
beginner.
be like, hey, Gundam with gays. Do you want to watch? And then they
Yeah.
will. And if they enjoy it, then they may. Again, it's that thing where it's like, okay, well, maybe I'll go back and watch the other ones now.
Yeah, I know. Like another video essayist out there really like they started with she started with G-Witch and she's not like fully Gundam pilled. Yeah.
I
Ready to
still
drop
need
a
to go
colony.
back and watch the rest, but it's on the list.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of Gundam out there. I don't blame you. Like, there's a reason Cody, like, for our monthly media club, Cody makes us watch a lot of Gundam. It's either Gundam or Star Wars. But honestly, like, I mean, granted, Cody picks like very into Star Wars. Like, he picked Clone Wars, the 2D one by Genndy Tartakovsky.
Yeah, I don't think we've done anything Star Wars.
Oh, we did episode one. We did episode one because of the anniversary.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
like
mean, come on,
interesting.
that was
That's
fun.
still like interesting.
That was topical too.
Yeah, it was topical because of the anniversary. Yeah, yeah. I know. It just seems G-Quacks because a lot of people were describing it as like Fooly Cooly adjacent because of like the director. So I was like, I figured. Wait, have you actually watched Fooly Cooly? I forgot.
Oh yeah, I love Fooly Cooly. One of my
Yeah, and I know
all-time
that's
favorites.
yeah something you vibe with. So it's like I was just curious to see of like if that. I guess it's been on your radar since it's announced. Really.
Yeah. When I heard the sort of ensemble that they had together for it, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. It does like I did see the movie. Like no spoilers, but like oh, I'm very interested to see what's gonna happen. Um,
Interesting.
yeah. Although the first, like, no spoilers, but as someone who's Gundam familiar, the first half is very funny. I'll put it that way. It is
Okay.
very funny. If you, especially the way they frame things, you'll
Mhm.
know it. You'll know even if you have a passing familiarity with like the original Gundam, you'll know it when you see it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil. Cody's a big Gundam head, so I don't want to spoil it for him.
Very
But yeah.
fair.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still gonna try to see. I gotta check and see if it's in theaters.
G Kids gave it a wide release, which is surprising. Like usually they only give it like a couple days, but like no, like because G Kids they just super good at distribution for some reason. At least in the West. I know they're
Well, they're also trying to. We've been on like a 3 year like stint of them increasingly ramping up like Gundam presence in America,
true. Yeah,
leading up to
Mhm.
the Legendary movie that's coming.
yeah. That they
You
keep
know,
that. I don't know how I feel about that, but especially because they keep changing directors every like 5 seconds. But granted, I don't know. It'll
G
probably
Kids
just be.
has done a lot of like great distribution work
Yeah, I'm
recently.
very excited for their
I
Miku movie that they. I'm not their Miku. The Miku movie they picked up. Like
mhm, mhm.
so that looks really
I
interesting.
I genuinely think like one of the best theater experiences I had in the past couple of years is when they re-screened End of Evangelion.
Oh, I saw that too.
It's so good.
Oh,
It
the
was
the
so
way they
good.
did that screening with like no bonus features, that was so good. Like
No,
just like
genuinely, like the thing about it too is like I said it at the time, but like NezumiVA is one of my favorite movies. So like I've watched it a million times, and so going into it, I was like, I mean, this is just gonna be like a fun novelty. Like I'm gonna be able to see it in a theater, and that's gonna be really cool. But like fundamentally, this will still be the same experience that I have had with this movie every other time I've watched it. It was different.
oh, way different. It like just it recontextualizes the whole movie. Like just especially like it really like makes the legacy more clear when you actually see it like
It's
in
the
the
sound
theater.
design in particular is so immaculate. The like
Yeah.
like the panning voices on like the different sides, like the voice above the ceiling at that certain parts. Also just like the general vibe of like obviously Ava is a series that always like dips into sort of like multi-meaning sort of like metaphors and stuff like that. But I also just really appreciated on that watch the like the whole idea of like instrumentality as this sort of like construct of also like in the story it's like all these souls coming together, but also it's like literally like people in a theater congregating around a
Yeah.
piece of media, the theater shot, and then like that whole thing of like the dream ends, you have to leave, you can't be here forever, and then they hit you with the end at the end, like, and no credits because they already did it in the middle, and then the
Yeah.
house lights come on and it's like, all right, get out.
Yeah, that was so good. Like that was definitely one of my most memorable theater experiences. Unfortunately, every time I go to see an auto movie at theaters, it's always so good. Because this
Hmm.
happened with Shin Kamen Rider 2, where it's like I
I still
have
need to
this.
watch it.
I mean, I'm a big Kamen Rider shill, so like I'm a bit biased, but I really love that movie. It's
I need to watch that and Shin Godzilla.
yeah. And then there's like Shin Ultraman in
Ooh.
the middle. Um,
Have you seen -1?
I have seen -1. It's really good.
yeah,
I
That was
will
probably
say
like one of my top movies of that year.
yeah,
-1 might -1's probably the best Godzilla movie, um, both in my opinion and just in general.
Just objectively.
Or I guess like in a more wide opinion. Uh,
Hmm.
but Shin Godzilla is probably the only Godzilla film that has made me terrified of
nah, that's
Godzilla.
Oh.
fair. Yeah, like I'd say like -1 has the better human story, but Shin Godzilla has the better Godzilla, and that's kind of
Hmm.
like depending on my mood, I like switch between the two.
Right.
But my favorite is probably still versus Hedora because that's a really fun. Like, I've watched all of the Showa era ones. I still need to get to the Heisei and Millennium stuff, but like versus Hedora, ooh, that's a spicy film. Like in terms of its messaging and like style. It's not for everyone, granted, but it's I think if you I don't know, I mean, you might like it, but I'm not sure
Hmm.
entirely.
Since we're on this topic, by the way, I just want to bring up that I rewatched SSSS Gridman.
Yeah,
and it's still peak. It's
Yeah.
still really good. I still haven't watched Dynazenon or the movie though.
My opinion, Dynazenon is arguably a little better.
Okay, interesting.
Because I know Dynazenon got buried in the West during its initial airing,
Mm-hmm.
but like something about Dynazenon just really clicked with me. And
Have you seen Universe?
yes, I have seen Universe. Funny story. Before the movie got officially legal streaming,
Mm-hmm.
I saw it on an airplane because that was the only place you could see it like legally in English subs at the time. So, I mean, granted, this was my second watch because someone ripped the airplane recording and put it like online. But before the movie like got released on Crunchyroll because Crunchyroll, was weird. Well, the understatement of the century. But like, yeah, yeah. I watched it like officially on an airplane, like on my way to like I was during it was a summer vacation. During like I had to go out of town for a wedding, or so like we had to go for an airplane, and I was like, oh, they have Gridman Universe here. Let me rewatch it, and yes, but like yeah, Gridman Universe is that's a good like I don't want to say too much because like it's basically a crossover between like the first series and Dynazenon. But
Right.
like it's good. It's a really like yes. I don't.
I
Again, I'm not
know
to say too much.
I know only like the vaguest elements about it, and like obviously, the things that I really enjoyed about the original SSSS Gridman are definitely going to. I'm sure they're going to sort of like color my opinions of some things somewhat, just because.
No, that's fair.
Obviously, the stuff with Rika and Akane is like very very important in my opinion, so I'm interested in what they do with that.
Yeah. I'll say you might be a bit disappointed on that regard. I'll
Yeah,
put it that way.
I expected as much.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break it to you, but like the rest of the movie's really good. I swear.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But like, no, I agree. Like, they're yeah. Again, I'm trying not to say too much. I mean, I already made Cody watch Dynazenon and Gridman for the
Mm-hmm.
media club.
I
But
love
like,
those.
yeah, I still need to show you Universe eventually. Like, cause that wasn't out by the time we did that. I really one day I'll get these fellas to watch Universe. But yeah,
Even
yeah,
as like a self-contained work, though, I still think that like Gridman stands very
oh yeah,
very
nah,
strong.
it's like that and that is it are probably my favorite Trigger works. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
biased, but like still that's just where I'm like at right now.
It's like easily in the top like 3 of their stuff to me.
Yeah, I mean like Trigger is like you either get really like actual like like Trigger can be messy, so it's like it's
Mm-hmm.
not always like gonna be like a big hit. Like I know Brand New Animal was what happened at the end there?
Yeah,
What
that
happened?
was strange. I think like their best stuff is like at least in recent years has been like Promare,
Oh yeah, that was great.
Edgerunners.
Yeah, Edge Runners, yeah.
Um,
Does Delicious in Dungeon count, or is that more
eh,
half and half? Because like,
kinda, yeah, because
not really like
they
the
didn't write it,
story.
so.
Yeah, yeah, because like the story's been already written for them, and they're doing like a good job adapting it. But like,
Which
it's
honestly,
mostly like,
like, I think that's kind of like the platonic ideal of what Trigger should be doing at this point. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy a lot of Trigger's works, and I think that they've had like good stories, but there's always just something about their stories that like is always just a little bit off. And
yeah,
honestly,
even
I'm like
Promare like has some off
mhm.
things.
with like with their talent for production though, like their animation, their sound design, like everything, like that stuff they're really really good at. So like channeling that into a work that has really strong writing is I think like kind of the perfect move for them.
Yeah, and like even Gridman and Dynazenon does that because the main writer for those is an Ultraman writer or like a Tokusatsu
Exactly.
writer. Yeah, Keiji Hasagawa. Like he's more familiar. Like he's a very experienced like writer. Yeah, he wrote Nexus, Dyna. Like those are some of the most beloved Ultra shows.
Mm-hmm.
And like even like he's still writing today. Like he wrote like the last Kamen Rider series before Gav, Gachard. So like he you get like someone who's like really talented with writing to like help, and then like the Triggers like studio enhances that with like they're good at visual storytelling. Actual written
Mm-hmm.
storytelling can be like a bit hit and miss.
Yeah, honestly, like not that they haven't had any good works. Like obviously, we just named a couple of, but like it really does feel to me that like Trigger came like for all of its faults, Trigger came swinging out of the gate with Kill la Kill as their first thing, and
Yeah.
then like every time they've made something after that, it's just like they've just been like trying to chase the success of it.
Yeah. Yeah, very much like I heard Little Witch Academia was fine. I don't like I haven't really fully sat down with it, so although that might be another case where it might be a different writer. I could be wrong. Yeah. I mean like I did like well actually probably one of my favorite things Trigger's done in recent memory was the Transformers PP and PV they did.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like because I completely forgot that happened last year, and I was like that I remember that came out the same week as Transformers One, so it was a really big week for Transformers. But like yeah, that PV like as like someone who's been following the history of that stuff, that was a really very much like the Pokemon Bump of Chicken PV.
Yeah. I really liked it. Even like as not like very familiar with Transformers, I still just thought
Yeah,
it was
it's just good storytelling. It's good visual storytelling in general, like to give you like all the vibes of like, okay, this is what this thing's about. This is what this thing's about. This is the general theme. This is like where we're at now. Like it's just well done visual storytelling.
I
And
am cautiously optimistic, but like stress on the cautiously about season 2 of Pantheon Stalking.
oh, I'm yeah, that's I've not watched the first one yet, so like I have no stake in the race, but like
It's very of its time.
yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
So like, because the thing is like I still think that there's a lot to really enjoy about it, but like I also feel like if you're going to bring back Pantheon Stalking, there's just really no like there's no softening the blow, if that makes sense. Like there's
Yeah.
really no way around what it is, and it's either for you or it isn't. And yeah, I don't know. I just
You can kind of tell like they've been wanting to do that for a while, but they just kept delaying it, and now we're in the like kind of an unfortunate point where it's kind of not
it's
relevant,
sort of,
but like
yeah, it's sort of like out of its cultural moment.
yeah.
So like especially right now, it's like I foresee that there could be some issues with it, but it all just depends.
Yeah. Like, hey, that maybe I'll watch the first season, maybe I won't. I don't know. I have too many shows on the backlog. I still gotta catch up with Severance and Invincible, like as of
For what it's
current stuff.
worth, like the original season is pretty short, and like most of it
Yeah.
is very episodic anyway. So it's just kind of one of those shows that you can throw on in the background.
Yeah. Ooh. Is the dub any good?
Yeah.
Oh, the dub is excellent.
Just making
It's
sure.
honestly, I would say that it's one of the very few anime that I kind of prefer to watch the dub for.
Yeah. No, I was talking about that with the. No, you go.
I was just gonna say, like specifically in that when they were dubbing it, Gynax basically told them like, "Hey, look, the gimmick of this show is that it is very raunchy, and like over the top, but because of like certain censorship laws and stuff like that in Japan, we can't make it quite as raunchy as we're envisioning. But you guys are in America, so you can do whatever the hell you want."
That's funny. That's funny.
So they basically told them like just dial it up even more, and like the dub, yeah, it very much does so.
No, that respect. I forgot where I was going with. I hate losing my trail of thought. What happens? I know I was gonna say anime dubs. That's where I was going to. Like I was just talking about this like last like I was been watching Blood Blockade Battlefront for the last podcast.
Oh, I love Blood Blockade Battlefront. I've only seen the first season, but it's very good.
Same. I only made them watch the first season because that's all I've seen. I do want to get to season 2 eventually, probably this year. But like, anyway, like and that's like another one of the animes I kind of always prefer dub, if only for like because that's how I first experienced it. And I think like I cannot see the main character without hearing Aaron Dismuke, so it feels like odd when I see it in Japanese. Like just his performance as Leo just. It's ingrained in my brain,
Aaron Dismuke, very talented guy. We don't talk about the other guy.
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist. What a star-studded cast you have that I can't seem to remember the main character of for some reason.
It is what it is. Oh god, there was that like I know like my friend would watch like I haven't watched it yet, but there was that like 7-hour like 11-hour expose about that guy.
I watched it. It's It's very well put together. I'll say that.
Yeah, but just like I already been following that like through like just social
Yeah.
media, just putting on my bullshit. I don't like. I'm sure it's a great video. I just can't like sit
Oh
down with it
no,
because of like.
very very fair. Especially as somebody like, because I too have followed it through all of its sort of like evolutions, as it were. So it is a lot
Yeah.
to take in. There was
Like
more than I remembered,
maybe like 10.
though.
Yeah, maybe like in 10 years when I'm like, I'm very forgetful. I'll shock myself, or if I just need just to get mad at something for some reason.
No, I'm not gonna get into it, but that whole deal has always been very like weirdly fascinating to me, and how like willfully ignorant people can be about
Yeah.
things. Because like I, we were talking about conventions earlier. I went to a lot of conventions as a kid where that guy was a frequent guest, and like people saying like, oh, this just came out of nowhere, and people are accusing him of things like, I heard rumors about that shit when I was in elementary school. Like,
Oh.
this is not new.
No. Yeah, we can move on from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh. Oh, have you like? Because I know you watch like Dragon Ball occasionally. Have you watched Daima
Yes.
yet?
I haven't. I need to.
Yeah,
I've
I
been
just finished it.
saving it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because like my roommate and one of our friends that comes over a lot, like watches anime with my roommate a lot. And they've been going through Wano in One Piece. So
Ah,
I've been waiting for them to get to the end of it, because that friend of ours is a huge Dragon Ball head. So like once they finish watching Wano, like our plan is to basically do like a palate cleanser where we all watch Daima together.
nice. Yeah, it's only 20 episodes, but it's really good. I watched it with friends too, and it was really like a bittersweet like moment. Just being like, this is the best thing Toriyama worked on, and we're all big
Yeah,
Dragon Ball heads, or like recent or old or like
that that really hit me. Like that hit me harder than I thought it would,
yeah,
honestly.
it just
Like
came
when
out of
it
nowhere.
happened. Because yeah, it was like literally I think like a year ago yesterday that we learned
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, like in
Um
March.
yeah, and I remember when it happened, like, because I've been a Dragon Ball fan since I was in like elementary, middle school, and I don't know. I mean, like, obviously, there's a part of me that was always like, well, yeah, like Toriyama's getting on in age, like he's probably gonna be on his way out eventually, but like, it's just one of those things that you never think about it, right? You're like, oh well, of
Yeah,
course, Akira Toriyama is always gonna be around, and then so when that happened, like. I genuinely got like really emotional about it. I got really up in my feelings about it.
nah, same.
I was just like, man, this sucks. But
Yeah,
also at the same time, it's like, you can't dwell too much on that too. You have to sort of
yeah.
also be like, well, I'm really grateful for what he gave us.
And like Daima's kind of a great like encapsulation of that. I feel,
Mm-hmm.
especially like no spoilers, but the way it ends,
Oh
like that,
boy.
it's great. Again, not gonna get
I
too
can
into it.
already foresee myself being a little blubbering mess by the time we get around to that.
Yeah, yeah, Daima's really good. Sadly, all the like, I got one of the big things spoiled for me. I'm not gonna spoil it here, but like, I mean, granted,
I think I know which thing you're talking about.
yeah. But like but I would really like apparently that thing crashed Crunchyroll's site, so I was like, oh well, of course, yes. Uh, that is what it is. But hey, like seeing it in the moment was still cool. So
hmm
also, I think, oh dang it, my voice, I'm losing my voice. Oh,
No.
uh,
We have to speed through whatever bullet points you have.
no, I got all my bullet points are done. We're kind of
Okay.
running on fumes, so like,
Okay.
Oh.
Cool. I just didn't want to like brush past anything if you had anything.
no, like I'm just kind of like going off fumes right now. We're just kind of like just because we're having fun.
Oh no, yeah,
Like,
totally fair.
yeah. Although I might have to end now because I'm feeling tired and people might want to sleep
hmm
soon. So,
Yeah, and I
um,
need to eat again. It's been a bit.
yeah, you know what? We're gonna wrap it
I'm
up.
still hauling a truck.
Still hauling a truck. Oh my god.
You really didn't finish it by the time we
Yeah.
got to the end.
Dang. Well, like, I think Cody's like he said it was on a different mission. Yeah.
Mm.
Um. Anyway, I guess now that we're wrapping up, Marcy, plug your stuff.
Yeah, I am on YouTube at youtube.com/NezumiVA. I make video essays. I do streams. You should watch them. They're great. I'm on Bluesky at nezumiva.bsky.social. I'm not on Twitter anymore because fuck Twitter, fuck Elon
Same.
Musk.
There we go.
I'm on Tumblr at NezumiVA. I think that's probably all I have to plug. But yeah, like we said earlier, I have a Perfect Blue video coming up sometime in the near future, hopefully. And more stream series coming as well. I'm doing Ace Attorney Dual Destinies right now, as well as Higurashi. And after I finish those, who knows? Maybe I'll do some other popular visual novel readings. That might be fun. I've already got some ideas.
Nice. Cody.
My name is Snowcone83 legally. And you can find me at never_robot on Instagram or Snowcone83 at Bluesky.
Yeah.
And other than that, Snowcone83 on every other gameplay.
Yeah. And I'm Buster. I'm very tired. My voice is so destroyed from podcasting, but if you want to see my voice not destroyed, or attempted to not be destroyed, you can watch my YouTube channel where I do too many videos on too many things. Also at Blue Sky, where I plug and talk about creative process on various things I'm working on. And do we have anything else? No, those are the main two. But you can also support Modular Media, this little podcast, side channel,
Yes.
YouTube channel thing we got going on. We have guests occasionally. Me, Cody, and Boingo, we yap about too many things on these podcasts. And I'm doing like a weekly Tokusatsu podcast right now with my buddy Wyatt, where we talk about the new Gozuger. Maybe we'll talk about more Toku as the year goes on, but like right now it's just Gozuger. So check it out. Lots of fun to be had. And yeah, that will do it for this Modular Components. Thank you, Marcy, for coming on once again. It's been a real treat having you.
You're absolutely welcome. I had a great time. I would love to be back in another, 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, no, I'll make sure that's
way
sooner. I'll make sure it's we'll do it. We'll make sure it's way sooner next time. But for now, see ya.